Saturday morning, you're in pajamas, a bowl of cereal in your lap, and the TV flickers to life, not with noise, but with magic. These weren't just shows, they were portals to jungle adventures, talking cars, and lessons you still remember. If you were a kid in the 70s, you didn't just watch, you lived these 20 forgotten shows.
To the land of the lost.
Number 1. Land of the Lost. Before CGI and big-budget reboots, we had Saturday mornings and a family lost in a prehistoric world. Land of the Lost wasn't just monsters and mayhem. It was Dad shielding his kids from danger, strange portals opening mid-jungle, and that eerie hum of sleestacks creeping nearby. It felt big, even on a small screen. For many kids, this was their first taste of real adventure, before breakfast, in their pajamas, cereal bowl in hand.
Shazam!
Number 2. Shazam. All it took was one word, Shazam, and Billy Batson became Captain Marvel. No costume changes, no gadgets, just wisdom, courage, and a camper van that doubled as a mobile moral compass. Each episode ended with a life lesson, and somehow it never felt preachy. You didn't just watch to see him fly, you watched to understand right from wrong. It made being good look powerful, and being brave look quiet.
I'm alive and living just for you.
Number 3. H.R. Puffin Stuff. You either loved it or you had nightmares. Talking trees, singing clocks, a dragon mayor, and a flute named Freddy. H.R. Puffin Stuff didn't make sense, and that was the point. The sets looked like a toy aisle exploded, but it felt like a world built just for you. Sid and Marty Krofft didn't ask kids to grow up. They invited them to stay strange, and that was oddly comforting.
Oh, mighty Isis.
Number 4. Isis. Long before Wonder Woman hit the big screen, Andrea Thomas discovered an Egyptian amulet and transformed into the goddess Isis. She didn't punch first, she thought, she taught. She lifted trees with her mind and corrected injustice with grace. It was the first live-action superhero show with a female lead, and she didn't need saving. Watching her felt like watching the future, a quiet, steady kind of strength, one we still need more of today. Number 5. Electroooman and Dina Girl. Campy? Absolutely. But when Electroooman raised her power wrist, you paid attention. Alongside Dina Girl, she faced off against villains with names as wild as their costumes. It was over the top and full of neon, but to a kid, it said, girls can save the day too. Boys might have tuned in for the gadgets, but the message stuck with all of us, flashy tights or not. Number 6. Johnny Quest. He was just a kid, but Johnny traveled more before age 12 than most adults ever would. With his scientist father, Race Bannon, Haji, and Bandit, Johnny dove into ancient tombs, secret labs, and underwater bases. It wasn't flashy, it was smart. The danger felt real. And even back then, it showed us. Curiosity and courage make a powerful team. Plus, who didn't want a dog that brave? Number 7. Ziggund and the Sea Monsters. Ziggund didn't want to be scary, he wanted a hug, but his family wanted him to terrify beachgoers. So he ran, and 2 brothers took him in. The clubhouse, the hiding, the secret friendship. It was funny, sure, but it also hit something deeper. Sometimes you don't fit the mold, and that's okay. Ziggund didn't belong in his world. Neither did we. That's why we watched. Number 8. Speed Racer. It came from Japan, but to us it was just cool. Speed Racer's world was pure adrenaline, tight corners, sabotage, mysterious rivals. The Mach 5 was a character in itself, with buttons that did everything. And then there was Racer X, the masked brother you kinda knew, but didn't. Speed Racer wasn't just a racing show, it was a mystery wrapped in motion, and we couldn't look away. Number 9, The Pink Panther Show. No yelling, no chaos, just one slick cat and a jazzy soundtrack. The Pink Panther taught us that comedy didn't need words. Every move was deliberate, every gag earned. It was elegance wrapped in slapstick, something rare for Saturday mornings. And that theme? You hear it now and you're 8 years old again, leaning forward in a beanbag chair. Number 10, The Bugaloos. Half band, half bug, full fantasy. The Bugaloos floated through the forest in winged suits, dodging the villainous Bonita Bazaar, who wanted to steal their music. It was strange, psychedelic, and totally 70s. But for kids, it felt like freedom, music in the trees, harmony in the air. And deep down, we wanted to be part of their weird little world. Number 11, Jabberjaw. He was 15 feet tall, played drums, and sounded like he should be doing stand-up in Vegas. Jabberjaw was the underwater cousin of Scooby-Doo, with bad guys, chase scenes, and plenty of bubble-filled laughs. But what made it work was the attitude, a talking shark who got no respect, but never gave up. He was goofy, yes, but somehow he felt like one of us. Number 12, Inch-High Private Eye. A detective who stood only an inch tall? Sounds ridiculous, and it was. But Inch-High taught us that even the smallest person could catch the biggest crook. Armed with a magnifying glass and a supercar, Inch-High solved crimes, dodged danger, and annoyed his uptight boss. It was silly fun, but underneath was a real message. Being underestimated can be your greatest strength. Number 13, Space Academy. In the year 3732, cadets aboard Space Academy faced alien threats, moral puzzles, and zero-gravity teamwork. It didn't rely on big explosions. It relied on ideas about responsibility, diversity, and choosing what's right. For many kids, it was their first introduction to science fiction as something thoughtful. And even today, the model of young people solving problems through brains over brawn still holds up. Number 14, Wonderbug. It started with a beat-up old car and a magic horn. Suddenly, 3 teens had a transforming vehicle that fought crime with style and honks. Wonderbug wasn't slick or shiny, but that was the point. It reminded us that heroes could come from anywhere, even the scrapyard, and every time that horn sounded, we believed something broken could be something brave. Number 15, The Skatebirds. Part live action, part cartoon, part fever dream. The Skatebirds skated across the screen to introduce a wild mix of short segments. It didn't always make sense, but that was the magic. It was loud, colorful, and full of strange characters. For kids growing up in the 70s, it wasn't about logic, it was about fun. And the Skatebirds delivered, on wheels and with wild abandon. Number 16, Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle. This wasn't the grunting vine swinger from the old movies. Filmation's Tarzan gave us a thinking hero, one who read books, spoke clearly, and outwitted his enemies. He defended the jungle not with brute force, but with wisdom and honor. It was the first time kids saw Tarzan as more than muscle, and that shift, it stuck. Number 17, The New Adventures of Gilligan. It was Gilligan's Island, but animated, and somehow it worked. The same jokes, the same coconut radios, but in cartoon form. The cast lent their voices, and the charm carried over. You still rooted for them to get rescued. But deep down, you didn't want them to, not really. Number 18, Space Ghost. Before he hosted a talk show, Space Ghost was the real deal. Cloak, power bands, and a monkey sidekick named Blip. He fought evil in space with 2 teen sidekicks by his side. It was action-packed, serious, and beautifully animated. For many of us, he was our first superhero. And we never forgot that voice. Number 19, Curiosity Shop. It wasn't Sesame Street. It was stranger, smarter, bolder. Curiosity Shop had puppets, yes, but also history, science, and art. 3 kids explored a magical store, and every object had a story. For once, learning felt like adventure. And that skeleton, named Mr. Bones, he made you laugh and think. Number 20, Battle of the Network Stars. It was the Super Bowl of prime time, favorite TV stars facing off in foot races, obstacle courses, and tug-of-war. Linda Carter versus Lee Majors, real sweat, real stakes, no stunt doubles. You saw your idols outside their roles, flawed, funny, competitive. And in that, they became even more real. They weren't just Saturday shows, they were a part of growing up, a time when imagination ruled and heroes came in all shapes, sizes, and species. Did we spark a memory you hadn't felt in years? Share it in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. The past isn't gone, it's just waiting to be remembered.